Continuing on with our conversation about quality, I have the concept here, problems with productivity, or you could say problems with productivity measuring. When we talk about productivity, and the goal a lot of the times is to have things predictable. And this makes it nice for the accounting department to make things predictable. If everybody makes 100 units, then we'll know how much the labor cost is. We'll know how much the fixed cost of the product is. And we can predict the total actual cost for a product. Now, that all sounds good, and it is good. But a lot of times, the exercise of doing productivity measuring is negative and bad, and it can get you into trouble. It might cause the company to make too much of something, where we end up with inventory that nobody wants. Now, to end up with inventory, if we're converting raw materials into finished products, then we have a warehouse here that is too big because it has to stay mega supplied so the employees can get their productivity done. And then once they get the productivity done, then we end up with another warehouse here. So now we've been productive. We've hit our actual costs. Everything looks perfect, but it's not, because we have too much inventory. Warehouse here, warehouse there. That's not a good thing. A lot of times too, there's pressure. Now see, if productivity is being measured and things are pure, that's one thing, but a lot of times things aren't pure. The manager will ask for quantity over quality. Not meaning to, but if they say, make 100 units per hour or whatever, and make them good. Well, the employee hears the quantity part. I've got to make 100. I've got to make 100. And, well, they won't notice if some of them aren't complete. And that becomes the value. The leader has expressed the value to the employees that quantity is king or queen. So, in the employee's reality, there's pressure to present the manager with quantity. Not so much quality, but more focused on quantity. And in their reality, they might have a machine that might not be working the way it should be, but hey, it's out of my control. They told me to make 100, do 100, right? And also in that case, if you're being compared to other employees, that employee with a bad machine or a troublesome machine might be at a disadvantage, and that's frustrating. The raw materials might be different as well. We have different raw materials coming in, and a new supplier is picked, and one employee gets those supplies, and they're more difficult to work with. That would be a problem. Talking about the employee's reality. Now, a lot of times, there's also internal competition, and it could be through Employee of the Month. Employee of the Month does not get you teamwork, it gets you internal competition. I have actually lived this. Not only was it was quantity-based internal competition, also with quality factored in, but if you knew that the quality of one of your products might be questionable, there were ways to get around things. So, but regardless, the system went on. There was internal competition, and hey, I got Employee of the Month. Actually, I figured out that the system was blaming the employees, including me. So I went to the quality department and said, hey, you're blaming me for things that I'm not doing. And then that got corrected. It didn't get corrected for everybody else. It got corrected for me, and boy, I'm now Employee of the Month. The one time in life where you win and lose at the same time. That's Dimitri Moore. And then, okay, rewards are often attached and if you don't make it, then really you're trying to avoid pain and shame. So actually in the class Organizational Behavior and HR Management, we talk about how rewards, the bigger the reward to hit the quota, the more cheating that's going to go on. That's not saying people are bad people, it just says that it's a natural human tendency. If there's a big cookie and you're wanting to avoid losing so you can win, there's going to be pressure to cheat the system. So all of this ends with frustrating and people being afraid of being blamed for things such as failing on their quantity. So even though accounting gets a predictable number, a predictable cost for the product, it's got all kinds of problems in here. And I'll call this today forced productivity, and it could equal cheating. Now, we could look at things a different way. Think of the systems thinking, where we would go slow everything down and get things right. And once we do that, we might hit, say, 30 or 58 units per hour. And then we go, well, how can we improve? Let's work as a team to improve, identify the problems, and improve. So here, management is expressing the value of quality, not quantity. So let's do it right. Our customers want products that are working, right? So let's get it all correct, slow things down. We end up with 58 units per hour, per day, whatever. Then we go, hey, how could we improve this? Where are the problems? What's too difficult? How can we make it easier? And so after we've identified problems and made improvements, we're still focused on quality, but hey, look at what we did. We improved. We went up to 68 units, and they're all good ones, because quality comes first. Make it easier and less complicated. Hey, now we're up to 70 units. Everybody's happy. We don't need all of this competition and stuff like that. We're here to serve the customer, and the customer pays for a product, or deserves to pay for a product that works. So this is what I call natural productivity. It's not forced. It's not frustrating. In fact, it's fun. People want to be good. If you have somebody on the team, in your operation, who can't, given everything, they don't want to be good, well, maybe they're in the wrong place. They just need to leave. Help them find another job, maybe with the competition. Work on the right processes, get the right equipment, get the training there. Make things easier. A lot of people say you have to work hard. This is working hard, and look what it's doing. We're trying to work easier. And most importantly, give leadership, drive out fear, and give support and spirit. Let's have fun being great. Now, if you look at this, it says raise productivity by 10% or else. Can you imagine being under that pressure? And a lot of times the employee has little to do with, everything else that's going on, the machines, the raw material, the processes that they're told to follow. Or go back here. Raise productivity by 10%. What do you think would happen? The employees would go, oh no, we got to raise productivity by 10%. What are we going to do? Okay, just work faster. It doesn't matter if it's right. Just get the numbers up. Get the numbers. It's all about the numbers. And what do you think they're going to do when they hit 10% productivity growth improvement? They're probably going to stop, because they know that next quarter, next month, next year, they're going to ask for 10% more. If the employee goes in there and does 30%, oh no, we're in big trouble, and we look stupid because we were slacking off in the past. So instead of doing it that way, you could say, let's become the best we can. What are the obstacles? Does anybody have any ideas on how to improve? Let's build teams to work on those problems and create values that are based on quality, not quantity. So here, there's no number, and the people have, you know, they want pride in what they do. They don't get rid of them. They might do 50% more, who knows? There was actually a case that I read about where they said raise productivity by 10%. Well, they raised productivity by 10%. They took the other team and said, let's just try to create better products, good products, and you know, let's improve. And that group raised their productivity by 40% or more. Now, this all goes back to Deming's chain reaction. Stop having defects, poor workmanship, and all of that. Get the system going. Reduce our problems, which raises our productivity. The cost of the product drops, the quality goes up, and the customer gets a product at a lower cost. That's better, actually. Okay, there we go. Problems with productivity.